Hey there, my name is Sean, Brutal Wax. Today we're gonna make a beat from the record that I got recently from a thrift store. One of those dollar record bin that someone's trash is another man's treasure, that kind of deal. So my process here is that I usually start with the drum, and then I will go over the records that I have. Maybe from record, maybe I play some bits on my keys or guitar or whatnot, and then I chop it up. Similar process as if I'm sampling records, but today we're gonna just use records. You might wondering why still buying record, like actual records? Well, fuck, why not? It's fun, you know. You got the whole gigantic catalog online. You got access to pretty much every damn thing, and everybody got the access to that too. So, you know, digging at your record digging at the record at your local store sometimes might surprise you. You might find some joy in that you couldn't even find online. Some weird shit as well. So yeah, you see here that I programmed a draft of my drums. I add a little delay on my every second beat on my hi-hat to give it that swing. And I often start from there, and then I'll add some ghost note on my kick drum. You know, and once I got the groove down, I starting to look through the record I have, play the beat, and then go through the record while the beat is playing. Most of the time. What I'm doing here is I convert my stereo sample to mono. I mean, I could sample mono at the get-go, but I kind of like to preserve the option to choose if I want my left channel or right channel. Well, in this case, the drum is the sound I don't have in my collection. They are all stereo. Most of the time, I like to convert them to mono because I don't know, that's the way I like it. I like to mix in mono. I believe you can mix a mono good. It's gonna sound good on the regular system. So what I'm doing here is basically cut out the unnecessary frequency for my drum. I will cut off the higher end of my kick drum to get that fat sound, if you will. And I often cut off the low end to a degree of my snare and hi-hat, because there's a decent amount of low end that you usually don't notice it before it clash with your kick drum. So you want that loud knocking drum without overusing the compressor. Yeah, you gotta get your mix right. You gotta carve out the frequency to have them sit together nicely. I don't really leave the mixing at the end. I often just mix as I'm making the beat. It's kind of a process of defining your tone, your sound. I mean, with the same groove but different tone, it does make you feel different. So right now here I'm adjusting the sustain and the release of my drum set. I want it to sound tight. I don't want the sound to sustain for too long. I like that tight, quick, snappy sound. So after I got the first draft of my drum program, I usually start looking for sample while drum is playing. And one thing I like about sample from vinyl is that you can kind of sort of prototype how your beat might sound like. You might start from scratch a little bit here and there to get the sound from your records, sort of inspired by that little bit of a cut from the scratch. I mean, not always, but this process usually helps. I don't really like to sample or import the whole track and then look for the part that I wanna cut out. It's too much work. So yeah, regular record, you can just drop the needle, skip the section. It's quicker in my opinion. I mean, of course, you can argue you can hook up your Serato on the side and go through your track that way, but you know what, fuck that. Yeah, no, I'm sometimes do that too. So here what I'm trying to do is I grab the something that doesn't have percussion in it. It sort of serves like a underlying pad. So I usually grab a little section and then loop it. Have that loopy feeling. Not necessarily a loop from like a track, but you find a little section that I don't that is kind of vibing, and then just loop that shit. Yeah, this is usually work. I would do that with my own keys as well. Sometimes I would be like playing like a whole chord progression, and then add a drum to it, and then feel like, wow, this is I don't know, this is dull. So when that happens, I would chop my own key. I maybe play a typical four chord progression, and then only chop it like maybe 2 sound from it, and then loop it this way. Yeah, the chopping definitely give you that raw sampling feeling, even though you might not sample from the records. For those who curious about what software that I'm using, the software is called Renoise. It's a tracker. They run vertically. Is very different from traditional DAW that is run horizontally. You know, you take a little time to get used to it, but after you get used to it, damn, this is fast. The speed of programming the drum and sample, like, I don't know, I couldn't go back to other regular DAW. Like, I was a big time Reason user for like, I don't know, close to, is it 10 year? Yeah, long time, maybe close to a decade. And I switched to Ableton, sort of stick with it a little bit, find it easier to chop sample and manipulate sample, and then I discovered Renoise, and this thing just designed for sample based music, like straight up. I usually add some sort of distortion on my drum group. It's kind of get that crunchy feeling, but not necessarily fully distort. It's almost like when you have a analog amp, and then you turn the volume up right before you start to clip. You can see a little bit of red on those kind of analog amp, but it doesn't feel like uncomfortable clipping. It's like a sound design choice. So yeah, I use distortion on my drum group to get that kind of crunchy feeling. Crunchy, but not too crunchy. Like, we still try to stay within that fat drum feel. So on all my channel, I almost will have some sort of reverb to it, like not necessarily very noticeable, but definitely make it less dry. Give it a little bit of the definition of the space definition. Yes, the fun part about sampling is that you never really know what you're gonna get out of your sample, and that's the fun part of it. Here, I wouldn't expect to find something like this guitar sound. And sometimes you just hear it. You just hear it. It's very little in the background, but you hear it. In this case, I will use the guitar sound on my snare. Give it a little bit of that East Coast vibe. Dark and grimy guitar. Yeah, right there. Just that small bit. That's it. Nothing more. And you know, as we all know, when you're sampling, things might not be in the same key that your beat is on right now, so you often have to pitch shift to match your key. Sometimes it could take a bit as a complete out of key, pitch it, and it will work. It might have 3 notes in it, but you have the third note is complete out of scale. But as long as you keep it just a tiny bit, that dissonance, give a little, you know, that lo-fi feeling. Like all the sample-based music is a signature of the sample-based music, especially boom bap. That you sometimes that you listen to the original track that the sample is from, and you will have a hard time to piece them together. How does this freaking work? Like they are not in the same key, not the same scale, but it worked. Well, I mean, you chop it down, like chop it to minimum note, 2-3 note. You can manage that.
I don't.
You know, it's like
If I'm getting
piecing together a puzzle. A puzzle that you don't know where it's going.
Australia, when I'm gone from.
And yeah, this is the kind of record I was talking about. Some very interesting record. It's very, I don't know, flirty. Like definitely you know, type of records that the record actually is called 50 Guitars in Love. I guess that's what it was.
I never.
Like back in the day, Netflix and chill type of record. Actually no, the record is actually called For Lovers. I mean, yeah, no wonder. The type of dialogue, monologue, what have you. Interesting record though. And you know, sometimes it doesn't always work. You might sample a section, try to chop something out of it, and it just doesn't work. And that happened in this beat as well. This section, I thought this might have something with here, but I end up just, you know, like discard it. Yeah, yeah. It turned out like not that great. I chop it, not feeling it, but it's probably faster to just discard the whole thing, find something else. It's like a discovery journey.
So I fit our words.
I mean, these kind of Netflix and chill record, it has some jam in there. Like, I know that flirty talking is kind of annoying, but you got some crazy groove, not groove, crazy tune,
That love comes at all.
like underneath the
Those
talking.
days.
So you gotta find that opening. Yeah, you gotta cut out that talking stuff. Yeah, no disrespect, but
We have to be on guard from those others.
and the nice things about this software renoise is that you can really go into very surgical approach with the sample. As you can see here, the part that I sample have those vinyl noise that you see the waveform is it has a little very tiny bit of spike, and you can actually go in there to remove the spike, like right there. You don't have to use other software to do the surgical editing. Of course, I'm not trying to cut it like all perfect. As long as it sounds alright, I'm not really care if it's like not a perfect wave. Like, yeah, right there. Last time I did that outside of a cleanup sample, it was back in the day when I working at studio for radio commercial. Sometimes you just got to do those kind of surgical editing, kind of make the magic happen. Of course, that's before AI shit. I really dig this guitar sample that I use to sync with my snare. It's really give out that East Coast boom bap vibe. Sort of envision Wu-Tang on a track. Of course, RZA is one of my favorite producer of all time. Now it's sort of got that pad element in the guitar sample, kind of coming together. And then you got that dark saxophone. We just need one more thing, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to here we're going to put a like a little sprinkle on top of a beat, little sprinkle of something. We're gonna use some kind of flute, something like really small that connect between bar to bar. Yeah, this is the part that I was talking about, that when you scratch that little bit of cut into your beat, sometimes you find something interesting. Not necessarily fit scale wise. Well, I wouldn't think this part would fit if I sample this directly from the audio file. Yeah, I gotta cut off that low end. But with a scratch, you sometimes just find some weird shit that just work. At least I think it work. Maybe won't. I think it worked. Well, I think the B is kind of done for now. You know, never finish, but you gotta cut it, move on, maybe come back later on. For now, I think this beat is okay. Got all the elements that I need to be in. Got a dark boom bap vibe. Well, thank you for joining me today. I hope you liked the video. If you dig the vibe, subscribe and hit the like. And if you want to see something more, some more of this kind of stuff, you can comment down below. Just to say hi, you know. I'll see you next time.